All right. Well, good evening, everyone. It's so good to see you all here tonight. And we're super excited because we have some special guests tonight. It's a real true honor to introduce them to you because they are amazing LifeVantage leaders that we all love and respect. I'm going to give you just a little bit of their background, although I think probably pretty much everybody knows them. But it's Brian and Holly Highfield, and they have spent years running the hamster wheel. And even though they were like super successful, they were overworked and underappreciated. And then we're so thankful that LifeVantage found them. And so they love being the boss of their own schedule and being completely present to care for their son, who's 4 years old, Austin. And so this is super impressive. They have generated more than 47 million in sales across 20 plus countries. And they are super passionate about helping others live the life that they were meant to live rather than the life that they must live. So I love that, Holly. That is beautiful. And we so appreciate all you do for LifeVantage and the leadership that you provide. So thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we're excited to hear from you. I think you're
I'm on mute. I know you would think we've done these a few times. Holy moly. Again, anyone can do this. So no, thank you so much again, Julie, for having Brian and I on. We're actually in two different rooms right now. So which is kind of funny, but when you work with someone, you live with someone, I mean, kind of, sometimes you gotta, you gotta find your separation, but thank you so much again. When you reached out, it's been a while. We've been trying to get this on the books for a little while and things just kept happening. And thank you so much for being so flexible and giving us the time to get in front of your team, because I know you don't want to just have anyone, talk to your team, right? You want people that you feel are going to be able to breathe some energy and life into them and share some insight. But at the same time that share your values and kind of teach your team the way you would teach your team. Right. So thank you again so much. We appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for taking time out of your Monday to go ahead and tune in. And so I think Brian and I were planning on really just, and again, we probably are not maybe telling you new things, new and exciting things. Maybe we'll spin it in a different way. Sometimes hearing it from a different person. I'm guilty of this. How many of us have had our spouse tell us one thing and we're quick to dismiss it, or we're like, you don't know what you're talking about. But then we hear it from somebody else, and then all of a sudden it's this amazing idea. And oh my gosh, we got it. Who would have known, right? No, that never happens, right? We're never guilty of that. So, but we would love to go ahead and talk to you about the power of belief in network marketing, this profession, and truly how it relates to network marketing. There's so much we could do. We're going to try to rapid fire this. And if you guys have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We would love to try to bring you as much value as we can throughout this evening. But I don't know, Brian, did you want to start out with any, we kind of have just like a little cheat sheet of some things that we wanted to make sure.
Yeah. And what I gave you was actually a different list, but we can roll with it here, so it's fine. We do want to talk about network marketing as an industry, and it's our first rodeo. Network marketing is absolutely our first. Our LifeVantage is our first rodeo in network marketing, is what I'm trying to say. And Holly, she had some relatives who had done network marketing when were never successful, so it kind of soured her on the industry at first. She was very resistant. In fact, when I had presented LifeVantage to her, we were dating at the time. And because of those false beliefs that she had built, because her relatives were unsuccessful. They had jumped from company to company and just the flavor of the month, and would try this. It didn't work, so they jump over here and try that. And I didn't really have a preconceived notion about this industry. All I really knew, my mom sold Tupperware here and there, and so most people like me, when I heard about network marketing, I thought I had something to do with computers. I was an IT geek. I heard this network marketing. I'm like, okay, I know about networks. So does this have to do with computers? And so I was very open to hearing about this in the beginning, because I didn't have any negative connotation towards the industry, but I was very attracted to what I saw in LifeVantage. First of all, most of us are here because of the power of the product, that we saw the potential of that, and we understood that there's a lot of people that need to hear this and can benefit from the product. But what got me to join as a distributor is I saw a vision of this being a multi-billion dollar company someday. And it's absolutely true. And we've been with the company 10 years, and absolutely unwavering belief that this is going to be a multi-billion dollar company someday. And we're here in the very beginning. And that feels weird to be in the very beginning. Usually we're used to being last to something, right? When we hear about something, we just assume we're the last one to hear about it. And here we are in the very beginning. And it's difficult to accept the fact sometimes that we're here in the beginning. But network marketing, as Eric Worre likes to say, it's not perfect, it's just better. And I completely agree with that assessment with network marketing. We believe it's the great equalizer out there because it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter what your age, your background, your race. It doesn't take, your education level. None of that really matters. Anyone can just plug into the system. And as long as you are doing the activities over and over again for a long period of time, you're going to have success. I didn't say you're probably going to have success. If you do those activities over and over again for a long period of time, you will have success. So if someone doesn't have success, is they're not doing the right activities, they're not doing it over and over, and they're not doing it over a long period of time, right? And the great thing about network marketing, what it provides, and especially LifeVantage, is what it's providing is it's an opportunity to to build leverage. We don't normally get that in day-to-day jobs, right? You're trading time for money. You're not building an asset, because if you stop showing up for work, what happens? Sooner or later, they're going to figure out, oh, where's Brian? I haven't seen him since last week, and all of a sudden my paycheck gets turned off, and that's what happens in a job. And so if I leave, there isn't someone to do the work for me to where I still get paid for that, right? And so that's what leverage is you actually have a mechanism or an asset, or some machine that's still generating income, whether you're awake or asleep. And that's what's cool. Is it gives you that opportunity, right? This industry gives you that opportunity to earn that leveraged income.
Yeah. I mean, a perfect example. So I just met this past Tuesday with a gentleman. I actually met someone in person. Can you believe it? At a Panera Bread. It was like old time again. It was just fantastic. Just an incredible individual, actually working for the bank that I used to work for. It's actually his second go round with the bank, interestingly enough. And we were just talking about this, there's nothing wrong with working, right? I mean, look, that's the way that most of us are raised. It's the way that most of us are wired. That's how most of us start to earn a living and build a career for ourselves and our families and pay our bills. That's just what it is that we've done. Just like I did. That's what I thought we had to do. But thankfully, LifeVantage opened my eyes to a different way of earning money, to a different way of how I wanted to choose to spend my time. And so I was talking to him because he was talking to me about all his dreams and visions and aspirations and what he wanted to do with his life. And so we started talking about entrepreneurship and the power of owning your own business. And I can tell you that if I was still working for the bank today, God forbid something were to happen to me tomorrow, Austin is not going to be able to benefit from the work that I put in for decades with the bank. He's just not. It's sad, but that's the reality. Like Brian said, that paycheck will cut off automatically. What I love about LifeVantage is they are giving each and every one of you the opportunity to be able to put the work in and allow future generations to benefit from it. Okay, you get to build that legacy. You get to be able to pass something on And maybe, and look, it doesn't matter what your level of success or desire is. Maybe you're not aspiring to be a Master Pro 10, and that's fine. But what if you were to build up enough of a paycheck to go ahead and pay for someone's car payment, or maybe help pay for a mortgage payment, or just a little bit of extra money so that they could go on that family vacation that they want every single year, but you can pass that down for 4 generations. That's just unheard of in the normal business world. No one thinks of that. Then people are trying to spend try to find what little money they have to invest in like insurance policies and life insurance policies, all these other different ways in the hopes of being able to take care of their loved ones potentially when they're gone. You don't have to do that here. I love that.
And the weird, crazy thing is most people don't even know that we exist, that we are an option for them. And so I remember, you know, part of my story is my company was getting bought out by another, and they didn't even have a department that did what I did. And so I was very fearful of losing my job, and I started looking for other things. And I knew even if I found another job that I needed a backup plan. I needed a plan B. I needed something that was going to help bridge the gap. And so I was thinking, okay, well, what do? Do I go back to school and spend tens of thousands of dollars for an advanced degree? Do I buy a franchise? I really looked into that. I was going to open a Wingstop. It was going to be the second Wingstop in Ohio. And it's a good thing I didn't, because Buffalo Wild Wings opened in the same mile away from where I was looking to open my Wingstop. And that would have put me out of business, and I would have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars with that, right? When I started dry cleaning business, or dry cleaners and auto services are like the top 2 small businesses that get started. And I wouldn't open either one of those. So most people don't even realize that network marketing is an option. Now, let me give you, I'm a stats guy, right? I want to give you a couple things, and this might help reinforce the environment that we're living in right now. 2020, the year of the pandemic, right? We set a record in the US for network marketing. There was 40 billion, that's billion with a B, in revenue in just the US in network marketing in 2020. That was a new record. So people are buying more. In fact, more than 9 out of 10 people actually have bought something from a network marketing company. Okay, so people are willing to buy, right? 82% of female millionaires have made their fortune in network marketing. That's a cool stat. So, this is one of my favorites when it comes to money, because on a daily basis, $200 million is paid out in commissions across the network marketing industry every day, $200 million. So there's no question that network marketing works, that the industry works. Again, our job is to make people aware that, hey, this is an option. And that's important right now for a couple different reasons. Health and wellness is booming. It's the top trending industry out there, and it's been growing like crazy for the past 13 years. It's been growing like crazy, and I think it's going to continue to grow at a faster rate based on, you know, our environment right now. But let me throw a couple more stats at you, and Holly's going to laugh at me because I'm a stats guy. I love this stuff. But a recent poll showed that 3/4 of people right now want greater work flexibility. 84% of people want to work from home. 84% of people right now polled would rather be working from home. And 77% of people surveyed are interested, right now, they're interested in entrepreneurial income earning activities. Isn't that what we have? We have an entrepreneurial income earning opportunity right now. And this was an interesting, and I'll end on this one as far as stats go. 3 out of 5 people polled right now, 3 out of 5, in quotes, would stop at nothing to be their own boss. 3 out of 5 people would stop at nothing to be their own boss. So that tells me that as a target-rich environment out there from an opportunity standpoint, and the fact that health and wellness is at the top of the list as the fastest growing industry in network marketing, And, given the product set that we have, that there's nothing else out there like it. It's a huge opportunity for you right now. And again, even though we're a 13-year-old company, we've got the stability of a company that's been around for a while, that's cash rich and no debt. But yet it feels like a startup because hardly anyone even understands that we're an option for them out there from a business standpoint. So that's exciting to me. Even for as long as we've been in, as much as we have accomplished, we have not scratched the surface yet. And that's what gets Holly and I out of bed every day, is we're excited for everything that's in front of us. And I hope that all of you feel that excitement as well.
Yeah. And again, oh my gosh. So we just came off at this incredible Leader of Leaders Mastermind event in Marco Island. We're surrounding ourselves with multiple 6 and figure 7 earners across the network marketing industry. So I'm telling you, like, whatever it is that you want to get out of LifeVantage, you can have it. But again, we have a tendency to get in our own way. But again, we were hearing things that I was like, oh my gosh, Brian, can you believe it? She just told me she maxed out her company's compensation plan. She said they maxed out. She goes, oh, I'm okay even if half my downline was gone because I've maxed out the compensation plan. Maxed out. Do you understand that LifeVantage has no such terminology? You can't max out. Think about it. Most of us were in careers, or at least I know, I was in certain roles within the bank that I was only going to make so much money. And the only way I was going to make more money is if I went ahead and tried for a new role or a new position. And usually that meant more hours, less time vacation wise, like you were constantly you kept trying to climb higher and higher and higher to make more money, or it was like, let me go back to school. Let me get a master's degree in the hopes that maybe they would see that as a ticket to, give me some. No, LifeVantage affords you no maximums. You will earn as much as you're willing to work. This business will work if you're willing to work. I mean, Brian just told you incredible stats at the number of people out there that are looking. The problem is they don't know what their options are. Think about the person who invited you to LifeVantage. I didn't know what my options were when I was on that hamster wheel. My health was deteriorating, and the joy was just being sucked out of me. I had no idea that this was an option for me. But because someone had the courage enough, Brian, AKA Brian, to go ahead and show me this, right? Despite my skepticism, he was patient with me and he kept dripping on me and he kept putting it in terms that I could understand. Like, this could get you out of the job that you don't love. I mean, all these different, again, you got to make it about the people that you're talking about. LifeVantage has everything. We are in the health and wellness space. We have products that compare to none. You guys know this, but we hide behind the fact that it's network marketing. We hide behind the fact or fear that someone's going to judge us for what it is that we're doing when maybe we're already what someone would say, well, I don't understand. Like, you have a good career. You're doing well at your job. People don't always know what's going on inside here in your heart and in your head, right? Things can look okay on the outside, but where your heart and your head is at, you got to align with that. This is, like Brian said in the beginning, this is the only profession that allows you to take a month off. You can come back in a month later. No one's going to judge you. You are your own boss. That is such a sweet thing, but it can be a challenging one. It can be a challenging one because it's easier for us to do, or it's easier for us not to do than it is for us to do. If you know what I'm saying, it's a lot easier for us to just say, okay, I'm going to stay an extra hour at work and work an hour in overtime because that's what's comfortable. That's what I know. Than it is for you to go and say, you know what, I'm not going to stay that extra hour. I'm going to go home and I'm going to work on my business and I'm going to make a list of 10 more people that I'm going to reach out. I'm going to ask if they're open. Because that's what this is all about. And you don't know what other people want or need in their life. Most people aren't going to tell you for fear. Most people don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want you to know their dirty laundry, or maybe life isn't as good as it seems to be. Maybe they're always the life of the party. I'm telling you, the stats don't lie. Now more than ever, and I've been using this as a new segue into conversation, and feel free to go ahead and use it. Like, I've been literally starting conversations with people saying, now more than ever, people are looking to make money from home, to have more flexibility, but still be healthy and stay safe. Wouldn't you agree? Pose it as a question. Simply get them to say yes. Who doesn't want more flexibility? Who doesn't want to be able to work when they want to work, when it works best for them and their family, but still make money? Who doesn't want to be able to have a little control of their own financial future, right? Or maybe build something for themselves, contribute to the household in a way that they didn't think that they could, because maybe they just thought all they were was a stay-at-home mom or dad. We have so much to offer here at LifeVantage. Between our products, our compensation plan is literally like nothing we've ever seen. We've had people from other companies come over and they are blown away. They have organizations that are 5 times bigger than us in other companies, and we're making more money than them because of how our compensation plan pays out. It's almost scary. We get to do less work than some other people are, and we get paid more. But the thing is it's going to take some time. You're going to be grossly underpaid in the beginning. You're going to have to do so much work. You're going to even have to burn the candle at both ends. We did. And I tell you these things not to scare you, but I tell you these things because I want you to know that we've been there, we've done it. And obviously when you come out the other, the time's going to pass anyway. The time is going to pass anyway. So do you want to feel good in knowing that 5 years has gone by and you're still spinning your wheels, maybe not fully feeling fulfilled, or that have this legacy that you're going to leave behind? You know that you were meant for greater things, or and die with those dreams? Or do you want to spend the next 5 years working towards something that you can call your own? Something that you know that you have control of, that you can share with your loved ones, that you can have an impact in truly changing the way in people, in the way in which they live their lives, whether it's helping them pay for groceries, helping someone go ahead and pay for a dentist bill because their medical insurance wouldn't pay for the difference. I think sometimes we think about these master pro 10s and elites and 6-figure incomes, and we get so excited at the potential that we forget to even just think small. Think about the power and just getting started and the small impacts, it adds up. It really does add up. I know we were going to talk about timing and events, all these different things, but we're already 25 minutes.
Yeah, no, I was just going to end on, with a kind of a call to action to everybody, and really challenge everybody here. And maybe some of you are brand new. Some of you may have been in a little while. And Holly and I, we do it a couple times a year where we just press the reset button. We take all the knowledge and everything we've gathered so far with our experience, and we pretend we're starting from scratch. We're starting from the beginning, and then we're out sharing this as if we were brand new. And I would challenge you to do the same. Do you need to press the reset button? Take what you've already learned and just pretend you're starting over again. And with that excitement, the same excitement you had when you started, and going out there and saying less to more people. That was a big, valuable lesson. I was doing a dissertation for everybody. I was doing a 2-hour presentation to 10 people when all I needed to spend were 3 minutes with, and I could get to 100, 200 people if I just spent 3 minutes with them, and just simply see if people see the same vision that we do with what we have. If they do, great. If they don't, I'm going to circle back, because I don't have time to make them see the vision. They either see it or they don't. And Holly, I love that. I love that opening, that question about people seeking more flexibility, being their own boss, and staying healthy, and asking if they agree with that. And if they do, then you simply say, let's have a conversation. And we tend to overcomplicate this business. I'm guilty of that as anybody, being the self-proclaimed science nerd. But you can do yourself a favor, and the more simple you can make this, the more successful you're going to be. And I'm still struggling, and I'm challenging myself every day is how can I say it in one word instead of 4? because people need to, the masses out there, you need to boil it down to a level that a fourth grader can understand. And that's our challenge every day is, can we take a complicated thing something that we made so complicated and make it so simple that people can see the vision a lot more clear. So I want, that's my challenge to you, and my call to action is hit the reset. No matter where you are with your business, start with that vigor and that enthusiasm and that motivation you had in the very beginning, and say less to a lot more people out there, because like the stats showed, people are looking for this. They don't even know we're an option yet. So let's go find those people and show them what we've got. So Julie, I think we're going to turn it over back to you.
Hey, thanks so much. That was awesome. Really appreciate everything you shared, and love setting the reset button. That's great. And do we have any questions? Who has a question tonight? Can I unmute or type it in the chat box?
I would love to put a ball on a tee for you guys, because one of the things that Krista and I have spoken about this many times. One of the things that we admire most about Holly and Brian is how you guys have really demonstrated and modeled income creating activity. Like that's a hallmark. You guys are awesome at invitations and follow-ups and presentations. Can you talk, I'd love to get both of your input just on, not all actions are created the same. Can you share just a little bit about activity versus actions?
Yeah, again, we have our motto, we call them the MMAs, the money making activities. For some of us, and I was guilty of this, I've been guilty of this, because I'll be honest, I don't love recruiting. It is my least favorite skill in network marketing, but I know that if I'm not inviting, I don't have a business. So I've learned that you can't sit on videos all day and read self-development books all day and learn all the latest and greatest tricks and sign up for every, thing that there is that you could possibly sign up for, watching all these, and just, you can't be in a learn mode and not take action. Because before you know it, you've spent 10 hours, you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed in your business because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm spending all this time and I still don't have any customers. My business isn't growing. It's not going anywhere. And it's because we're confusing the activities that are going to make us money, right? And we're spending more time on those. So like you said, Mark, inviting is super key. It's part of my DMO, my daily method of operation. I go ahead and tell myself that for me personally, again, I'm doing this full time now. When it was just me, it was one a day. For me, it was in the beginning, when Brian and I were both working full-time jobs. We also owned a sports business, by the way. So between our full-time jobs and tournaments and coaching and traveling on the nights and weekends, and then factor in family obligations, I know you all feel me. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. I had a little sheet, and it was invite one person a day. At that time, it was the primetime video, ABC primetime, and I asked one person a day, if I sent you a 4-minute video, would you watch it? That's it. That is it, once a day. And then obviously then I would include the follow-ups. I do this whole thing. Brian knows I'm all about follow-up, because follow-up is part of the close. And the following up and inviting are the two most critical activities that you can do in your business. And if you are not at least following up with one person each day and or inviting someone into your business each day, then I hate to say it, you're going to, again, you can take your business as fast or as slow as you want, but just make sure that you're managing your own expectations of how quickly you're going to expect your business to grow, based off of the activity you're willing to put in.
Yeah, and I love what the company did when they really came out with ITT, because it really boiled it down to 3 income producing activities. Holly talked about inviting, right? But also connecting people with a tool, and then connecting with the team. Those are all income producing activities. And the challenge is to separate busy work from productive work. And a lot of people confuse the two. And that's what Holly was talking about. A lot of people spend a lot of time on videos and sorting their pencils and ordering business cards and all these things. And then they're going out to check the mailbox to see where the check is, and it's not there. And they're wondering why. And this happened with a recent recruit of ours. Every so often he's like, Brian, come check out my funnel page. And he'd show me this website he spent hours creating. I'd be like, great, but who have you shown this to? Well, nobody yet, but I wanted to get this set up. And then the next week he's like, oh, I made some changes, and I added this. Great. But who have you shown it to? Well, nobody yet, but I'm getting this ready. And then the next week, Brian, look at my business cards that I got. And so my point is, he wasn't talking to anybody. He was just creating these tools that he felt he needed. And then the kicker was, he called me up one day and he says, well, I said, well, have you talked to anybody yet? And he says, no, I can't. And I said, why not? And he says, well, I don't understand the back office yet. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? And he says, well, I don't feel comfortable sharing this without knowing how the back office works. And I called him out. I said, sounds like you're trying to find an excuse not to talk to people. And, he kind of did his little song and dance a little bit. And he realized I was right, that he's been spending all this time getting ready to get ready and not actually doing any of the income producing activities. And it's and we're all guilty of that to some extent. I've done it, especially in the beginning. But you really, to Mark's question, I think you really need to focus and spend a majority of your time on those income producing activities, which is inviting and sharing the tool and connecting with the team.
And for me, I plan it first thing. My least favorite thing to do is the first thing that I do, so that I'm like, okay, I get the courage. I'm going to do this. I go ahead. Sometimes I set a timer. If I know I'm going to give myself so much time, it forces me to be laser focused for that 10 or 15 minutes that I'm going to work my business. And I know I'm going to just focus on invites. So I will go ahead and do that. And it makes it super simple. And what I love is that once I do the thing that I like the least, then I get excited. And all of a sudden I have this extra burst of energy to want to go do the things that I want to do, which is following up with people and asking what they liked most about the videos. And, maybe it's doing a post or, creating some graphics or whatever, doing all the things, that I maybe prefer to do with my time versus the things that I know that I should be doing. So I don't know if that might help you guys as well. That's a little tip that I learned along the way. That's helped me stay focused on that.
Yeah. And that's so awesome. Follow on question. I think I know the answer. Do you guys both schedule time to invite and time to follow up in your daily calendar?
I do. Him and I work our businesses very differently these days.
And that's on my, here it is. Here's my DMO. You can see, so I'm talking about new people, but you can see the third thing, follow up with 3 people. So that's on my daily method of operation every day to make sure I'm following up with people.
Yeah.
Awesome. I kind of suspected so. I know Renee. I know Renee's got a question there.
I saw a question here in the chat from Carol. She said, "Can you talk about social media? I go back and forth between knowing the value of social media and face-to-face. What are your thoughts on that balance?"
I'll tell you. Tell you, attract online and connect offline. That's what it's all about. Social media is an incredible platform that allows you the ability to expand your reach way beyond your wildest dreams, which is kind of funny because we'll maybe divert to social media because we think it's easier than literally talking to our own neighbors. Because my challenge to you would be, how many of your neighbors actually know what you do and that you are in LifeVantage? All right. I can say that because ours are, or they do, and they are. We've got distributors, customers right in our own cul-de-sac. So, but yeah, you've got to, so if you're going to put yourself out there in social media, here's the thing, find 5 things that you feel describe you. Family, maybe it's family, faith, maybe you love cooking. Maybe you like to do sports. Maybe you're into music, an avid reader, whatever. Find 5 things and use those 5 things to just post on social media. Try to just create curiosity, let people into your life, let them know what you're about. But here's what people forget is, if you tell someone I'm in this business, you're waiting for them to comment. You can't do that. If people react to your post with a love, a like, or, you know, a support or a laugh or whatever it is that you post, they're reacting to you. You need to send them a private message. This is where the connecting with them offline comes on. People are obvious. They're going to watch you whether they react or not. Just know this. There are lots of people that are watching you. I call it Facebook stalking. They don't engage with you. They don't comment, but they are watching you. Okay. They're watching to see, are you consistent? What are you putting out there? Are you putting out positive stuff? Are you putting out things that they want to follow that's going to inspire them, encourage them to want to wake up with and have a better day? Or are you feeding them stuff that doesn't serve them? So post those things. And again, perfect example. I told my people this past Friday, I said, it's Feel Good Friday. Feel Good Friday. Tell me something good that happened to you this week. And I did that as just a generic post on Facebook. People start commenting. So you respond to their comments, and anybody who just likes it, even if they don't comment, guess what you do? You private message that person. You're like, hey, Laura, I saw that you liked my Feel Good Friday post. Thanks so much. It's good to hear from you. How have you been? Just strike up conversations. Like Brian says, we overthink it and we worry too much about what am I going to say? How am I going to say? How do I start a conversation? You're already connected with these people on Facebook. Just become human and reach out to them. You know, it's like, hey, Lori, thank you so much. You'll be like, oh, hey, you know, and you can apologize. Say, hey, I am so sorry that this is the first time that I've reached out to you personally since we've been connected on Facebook. Shame on me. How are you? Boom. You know, people will instantly say, oh, no worries. And, oh, I've got this, that, and the other going on. And then you can say, you know what? I don't know if you know much about what I've been up to, right? But I found a way that I can earn some extra money from home while also staying safe and healthy, which is pretty important. Wouldn't you agree? Like, again, however you want to position, I'm just saying. So yes, long answer. We're already going way over.
And I was just going to add a comment, more philosophical. I mean, Holly covered some great tactics there, and that's all true. And I've been, I don't say hesitant because I don't want to leave money on the table. I've been learning more about social media, but I love the personal connection of just face to face, and it's been harder to do that, right? So I've been more open to it. So social media is one gathering method of just gathering people into your funnel. There's lots of ways. It's a great way because you have endless number of prospects there. But you need to really connect at that personal level, just as you would have as making a new friend. And so one of the things that Holly did once we moved to Florida is she joined a group called, what's it called? The Sarasota Moms Group or something like that. That's what she calls it. Sarasota Moms Group, and has connected with other moms in the area that are local, and then being able to meet some of them face to face after that initial connection on social media. But my biggest tip for most of you, and not all of you, but you'll know who you are after I say it, is look at your social media profile and ask yourself, would you want to be friends with you? Would you connect with you based on your profile right now? Is your profile picture a cat, or is it actually your beautiful face? I mean, people want to see your face, right? So there's little things like that. Look at your profile, clean it up a little bit, and just ask that question. Would you want to join you based on your profile? And that would be my tip there.
Guys, I have to agree with you completely. I had an astonishing moment Sunday at church. You guys know I do a lot of social, and to me, it's social to local. That's how I call it. It's that social to local, to grab around where you are. And one of the tidbits I do is before I post, I will like and comment on prospects, on what they've posted. And of course, Facebook just loves that, to connect you after that. So Sunday, on one Sunday a month, I am on the coffee team, handing out free coffee at our church. And a gentleman whose wife I've been prospecting for 6 months walks up and grabs coffee. And he said, "What do you do?" He's an entrepreneur. And I said, "Well, I don't build beautiful pools. That's what he does." I said, "But I also don't have employees." And he said to me, whatever I do next, it will not have employees. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just step right into that. But yeah, it's that social to local influence that that you're talking about that makes a huge difference when you've kind of got that laser focus. I want everybody, but if I can get someone from my post into a coffee shop, that's a win.
Mhm.
100%. I mean, Brian and I built most of our business knee to knee, belly to belly. And for us, I call it old school, but I still love that. For me, I thrive off of other people's energy. I love sitting down in front of someone, and because I can get a gauge whether they're into it or not, right? You know when someone's into you, or when you were dating, like you knew if you were going on a blind date or just starting to date someone, you kind of knew if it was or wasn't jiving for you, right? It's the same kind of thing. Like, are you going to build a connection and relationship with this person to where you can build that trust, to where they're going to want to partner with you? Because yes, we have incredible products, but again, it just goes back to basic marketing and sales. Most of the time when people are joining your team, they're not joining just for the products, they're joining for you. They're joining because they like you. There's something about you and the way that you made them feel that made them want to be a part of what you're a part of. And that's so powerful. So yeah, we've converted a little bit more to social media to expand our reach and given the current times. But like Brian said, it's just a gathering method. There's so many different ways to gather people. So if you have a way that's working for you, and your funnel's constantly full, and you're excited because you've got more people to talk to than you have time for, then keep doing it. Seriously, keep doing it. Don't feel like because you see someone over here, you get that comparatitis or whatever, over here having all the success, or maybe they're just being extremely vocal about how their business is growing, and feel like, oh, I got to hop over here and redirect my focus and attention to see what they're doing. Because you're just going to derail yourself, and you're just going to move your business back. If what you're doing is working for you, then just keep doing it. Sometimes it's good to have the blinders on and not compare yourself to other people who are maybe where it is that you want to get to. It's great to follow them and get inspiration. But when you start comparing yourself, that can lead to disaster. So.
Wow, you guys have given us an amazing evening here tonight. I so appreciate you investing in us like this, and so much wisdom, so much inspiration. We really appreciate it. So I just want to thank you again for being here with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun, and we've learned a lot. So with that, I think we'll just call it a wrap. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Julie.
Thanks. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Love y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey, don't forget Robin Summer Smolleck's opportunity meeting, top of the hour. Love y'all.
Bye-bye.